All right, so the power of intention. How powerful is intention, and does it have the ability to really change our life? What are the things that we can do and apply in our own life to give ourselves this ability towards having more conscious control over the things that happen, and also have conscious control over how we respond to the things that happen in our life? Now, this for me was a game changer, and ultimately I've been on this journey of self-discovery for hardcore for about 5 years, since I had my spiritual awakening years ago. And I've read lots of books, and I've experimented with lots of different things that tend to work for me. And one of the most powerful ones was this idea of using intention. Now, first off, I want to explain the idea of intention and why it's such a powerful thing. Now, intention is simply having almost like a potent focus to what we're doing, like a purpose behind the things that we do. And as long as we hold ourselves accountable for following through with it, intention can have a profound effect on the things that we experience in our life. Now, for me, this has been something that's really catapulted the momentum of my life, because I'm more organized with the things that I do, and there's a general sense of direction for the things that I do. Now, I think that a lot of people in life, because there's not intention underneath what they do, they experience the same things day in and day out. And this was me. For years, I would do the same things every day and wonder why I was getting the same results, when the idea is that our habits are defining the things that we're doing and ultimately the identity of who we are. So the sense behind this is understanding that we get in life what we focus on, that our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and actions are determining the kind of effects and circumstances that we're creating in our life experience. So the idea is that if we can learn to focus our mind in a more powerful way by setting little intentions throughout our day, we'll find that we give ourselves so much more ability to really create the kind of experiences that we enjoy, and also to hold ourselves accountable for the things that we want to do in our life. Now, I think that simply first off, taking responsibility for where our life is right now. Now, this means that we understand that we take full responsibility for the things that happen to us, because ultimately we can't change our life unless we take responsibility for where we are. Because if we don't do that, we remain a victim. And in a victim mindset, we don't have our full power, because we're saying and justifying where we are rather than actually setting an intention for where we want to go. Now, this is where I believe the power is. And first off, taking responsibility for the effects that we get in our life. We can understand that some of this might be subconscious. Now, we could say, I wouldn't have created that car accident. I wouldn't have created this negative situation. But the idea is understanding and taking responsibility for our state of being, for the emotions that we have, for understanding that there could be some quote-unquote subconscious thoughts or beliefs there underlying the things that we're doing. But when we actually take responsibility, we're actually claiming our power, and we cannot change what we do not own. So the first part of this is owning where we are and understanding that we're creating the kind of experiences that we have through our thoughts, beliefs, our emotions, and our actions. Now, when we begin to do that, what we then begin to do, or what we can do, is understand that what we focus on grows, that we give momentum to the kind of things that happen in our life. Now, what we can then do is understand that if we set intentions, we're setting the focus for the kind of things that we want to experience in our life. Now, I've used this a lot, especially over the last couple weeks, to get things done, but also understanding that there's a general sense of momentum that happens when we set intentions for what we want to experience. Now, let me tell you guys the most powerful tool that I've used with intention, and that is something called segment intending. Now, segment intending is understanding that we can use intentions through everything that we do in our life. Now, the first thing is understanding this idea of segment. What is segment? A segment is any small part of our life that we're experiencing in the current moment of now. So it could be the fact that when we get up in the morning, we're going to cook breakfast, for example. The act of cooking breakfast is a segment in itself. Then we need to go get ready for work or go to the gym. The idea is, as we're getting ready, that is a segment in itself. Then we're going to drive to wherever we're going. That is a segment in itself. Now, the idea behind segment is intending is that before you go into that segment, simply set the intention for what you want to accomplish or how you want it to go. So, for example, when I wake up in the morning, I set the intention first off to feel gratitude, and then what I do is set the intention that I'm going to have a healthy breakfast. I'm going to nourish my body. I'm going to feel energized and good while I do it. I'm going to enjoy the process of what I'm doing and be present to the moment. And as I do that, I'll find that as I go into the act of cooking breakfast and making it and eating it, it's a very smooth transition. And that intention has an effect on my state and also has an effect on what I experience. Then what I might do is, as I'm getting ready and go to my car, I'll just think for a couple seconds of what do I intend to happen. Well, I intend to have a safe drive to work. I intend to feel good while I'm driving, to be focused and present to the moment. And as I do that, I realize that a lot of times I set the intention to have good, easy flow of traffic, to be in the right lane at the right time. And I realize that when I do this, it actually works. I'll actually go in the right moment. I'll switch into the lane I was going into. If there's traffic, I'm able to kind of bypass it in a way because I'm going with that intention and I'm going with that flow. I use this at work. The idea is that I want to help customers in a smooth way. I want to interact with people that I prefer to be around. I want to always have the intention that I remain in my own energy, that I don't give away my power, that I'm focused on having positive interactions with people. I have these intentions set before I go into my work, and because I'm thinking about them and I let it go and I just accept that that's the way it's going to be, then what happens is that flow of energy, that flow of my day tends to go in a much better way. Now, first off, when you first start out doing this, it requires a little bit more conscious thought because it's like now we're not controlling, but we're directing the direction of our thoughts. But the idea is that we don't have to obsess about this. This doesn't mean that we walk around and we're like, okay, I'm up now. What am I going to do? And I got to think about everything I'm going to do for the next 5 minutes. And the whole time I'm cooking breakfast, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to do this. It doesn't mean thinking as much. It means just setting a general intention. Just maybe it takes you, 15 seconds to set the intentions, but nonetheless to do it. But this is the beauty of it, is that the more that we do it, the easier it gets. So the idea is that the more we think those consistent thoughts, the more momentum we create so that we don't have to keep doing it over and over again. So imagine if every day when you got into your car, you had the intention of having safe travel. The idea is that because that intention is there, the next time you go to get in your car the next day, because of the memory, the way our thoughts work, the way that we wire our brain. They say that when neurons fire together, they wire together. So the idea is that as we have that intention, when we get into our car every day, what we begin to do is hardwire our brain for having the intention to naturally have safe travel, to flow into the traffic easy. The idea is that it gets easier and easier as we do it because we're consciously putting that intention into our life. Now, I found that when I get up now, I still set those intentions, but I find that I don't have to do it as much, but the momentum has picked up enough to where I find my days just keep getting better and better. One of the most powerful abilities that we have is to simply take control and direct the thoughts that we have. Not control, but to direct the thoughts that we have and to choose what feels good, to understand that as we begin to develop that momentum, we're naturally going to take action. One of the things that I hear a lot with the idea of the law of attraction is that you can't just think things and then things appear. Well, I want to say that it is about action, but if we consistently think a certain way, that action is going to become a part of what we want to do. It's going to be inspired action rather than going against the grain, because those thoughts correlated with more and more momentum get to a point to where the energy becomes to where it's like you have to take action. So if you have the intention of going to the gym and pushing yourself, the idea is that the more consistent someone thinks that, the more consistent they hold themselves accountable, the easier it gets. And this is why you might notice that when you go to the gym consistently, it gets to the point to where you have to go to the gym to maintain that good feeling, because it's become a part of who you are. So what I want to say is that one of the most powerful things we have is, first off, to become present to the moment, and then to understand that we can direct the thoughts that we have. We can set the intentions that we get in life depending upon what we're focused on. What we focus on grows. So if we simply decide to tailor our focus towards what we want to experience, we set those intentions and we have a general sense of what we want to experience, that we will see a profound effect in the way that we have our daily experience, and we'll understand that we then come into contact contact with people we want to be in contact with. We create more desirable experiences in our life. We're able to take inspired action rather than taking action against the grain. And as we do this more and more, it gets easier. Just try it today. All you have to do is set some intentions before you do certain things. Know that it's going to make a difference in your life. Simply let go of the outcome. Don't be resistant to anything. Allow it to be, but understand that as you become present to the moment, those will begin to reflect in your life experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you like it. Share it if you found it of value and you think that somebody else can value from the idea of setting the intentions and directing the course of their lives. And other than that, I will see you guys on the next video. All right, much love. Bye.